Hi guys, today we are going to do our second video that's going to correlate with the law of sines, and we're going to use the law of sines to figure out the area of triangles. So we're going to use a lot of what we did in geometry today to solve for the area. So we need to find the area of a triangle given two sides and an angle. We're going to start with the given that we were given angle C, we're given angle B, and we're given angle A. So we want to start with our basics. So the formula for the area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. And I'm not going to use B here just because we already have a lowercase b standing for the side opposite angle B. So in this example, we're given two sides and the included angle. If I need to find a base of a triangle, I want to make that one of my given sides so I don't have to find it. So if I make that base along, let's say, triangle ABC at BC, let's take a second, and then let's rotate this. So now it looks the traditional way. There's my base. So in order to figure out my height, I remember from geometry that I need to put in the altitude. So an altitude drops perpendicularly to the opposite side, and what I'm left with is a right angle right here. So if this is my height, I need to solve for my height. I'm given angle B. I know the length of side C, which is the hypotenuse of this right triangle, so I'm going to set up a formula. Sine uses the opposite side and the hypotenuse, so I'm going to say the sine of B equals my side opposite over my hypotenuse. I want to isolate the h for the height so we can solve for that. So my height equals C times the sine of B. We're going to plug that into our formula. So the area of this triangle is going to equal 1/2 my base, which was side length A, and my height, C times the sine of B. And that's our formula. So depending upon which given information you have, you're going to pick one of these three. There is no reason you have to memorize these. You can always deduce them. So let's take a look at a quick example. Find the area of triangle ABC if side length A is 4.7, side length C is 12.4, and angle B is 47 degrees and 20 minutes. So let's plug that in. Let's draw this out and put them where they need to go so I can see what I need to use. 12.4 for side length C, 4.7 for side length A, and 47 degrees and 20 minutes. So let's think. If I want to drop in that height, I want to do it with one of them. So let's use that as our height. So my area is going to equal 1/2 my base, which is C, and then A times the sine of B, which is just the example that we did. So 1/2 12.4 times 4.7 times the sine of 47 degrees and 20 minutes. So let's get our calculators out. Turn it on. Make sure you're in the right mode. You want to be in degree mode. So we need to take 1/2 times 12.4 times 4.7 times, the sine of 47 degrees, so second angle, second apps gets you your angle menu, and 20 minutes. So second angle, go down to 2, there's your minutes, and press enter. So that's our answer. Let's round that to the nearest hundredth. So our area is approximately 21.43 square units. Okay. Another case you could have is if you're given two angles. So let's pretend that we were given angle A, angle C, and angle or side C here. So we've got an angle, angle, side, or side, angle, angle. Either way you look at that one. So our formula for the area again is 1/2 the base times the height. So the first thing we have to determine is where is the base. If I make C my base, side C, and I drop the altitude in, I still need to find the height. Well, I can't really do that because I know how big C is, but C is that whole side. I don't know from A to the point where the altitude is dropped how far that is, so I don't know the adjacent side, and I don't know the hypotenuse, so I can't find the opposite. So I cannot use side C as my base here. So I need to pick a different side. So let's call B our base. That's going to make it a lot easier. So from B, we're going to drop in that altitude, and we need to find our height. So we have two things that we need to find. We need to find the base, and we need to find the height. Well, if we find the base, we can use the law of sines because I know an angle and its opposite side. So the sine of C over the side length C equals the sine of B over little b. And you might be thinking, well, we weren't given little b or big B, but we can figure this out using the triangle sum theorem. If we're given two angles, subtract those from 180 and we can find angle B. So let's take the cross product and solve for B. So B times the sine of angle C equals C times the sine of angle B. Divide by the sine of C. And our base, side B, equals C, side C times the sine of angle B over the sine of angle C. And the last thing we have to do is find our height. So our H is right here. Here's our right triangle that we're looking at. H is opposite angle A, and C is our hypotenuse in this case. So that tells us we're going to use the sine. So the sine of angle A is going to equal the opposite over hypotenuse. Well, multiply by C to both sides, and we've isolated H. So when we put that in our formula, area equals 1/2 the base, C, times the sine of angle B over the sine of angle C, times C times the sine of angle A. So we're just going to simplify that formula really quick. So area equals 1/2 C times C is going to be C squared. The sine of angle A times the sine of angle B over the sine of angle C. And that's going to be true for any of the three scenarios where you get area is 1/2 A squared times sine of B times the sine of C over sine of A, or one of these two. So let's do an example of one of those. We've got find the area of triangle DEF, D is 13.9. Angle D is 34.4 degrees. If you'd like to change that to minutes and seconds, you can. And angle E is 14.8 degrees. So let's put some letters down. So let's call this E, F, and D to make it a little bit more realistic. So angle E is 14.8. Angle D is 34.4 degrees. And side D is 13.9. So if we're taking a look at this, we've got a side, angle, angle. All right, so the first thing that we have to do is we need to figure out what that angle F is. So we're going to find the measure of angle F by using the triangle sum theorem. 180 degrees is the sum of all three angles of a triangle. So I'm going to subtract 14.8 degrees and 34.4 degrees from 180, and we get 130.8 degrees. So that's angle F. So we're going to plug this into the formula that we had. So 1/2 D squared, which is 13.9 squared, times, we've got to take the sine of 14.8 degrees times the sine of 130.8 degrees, and we're going to take that over the sine of 34.4 degrees. And when we plug that all into our calculator, our area is approximately 33.06 units squared. Remember, if you have any questions on this, please put those questions on the haiku section to the right of your videos. Make sure you've got all the notes for this, and we'll see you guys tomorrow or on Thursday on the block day.